Hey everybody, this is Minion Soldier, and this is Ship Updates. You know what? I'm actually kind of happy with this update because, seeing things, especially ships that I like to see, ships that I want to see, moving and progressing, is something that I'm very excited for. And man, Drake Cutlass Blue and Mercury Star Runner progressing, getting delivered in the new renamed patches 310 and 311, which would be, the September-October transition, hopefully, fingers crossed. Sometimes these patches are delayed by 1 or 2 or 30 some odd days. But seeing these ships progressing is, of course, fantastic. The M50, I guess nobody at CIG wants to do that one. It's like, can I work on the Cutlass Blue instead? It's like, I want the Mercury Star Runner. I want the Hercules Starlifter. The Hercules Starlifter is an interesting one, and we're just going to touch on that in a little bit, but you might look at the Cutlass Blue and think like, oh, well, why is the Cutlass Blue, so easy for them to do? It's only 2 out of 10 tasks. It looks like they're, right on time with that, and they're going to be moving along quite quickly. And you have to remember that the Cutlass Blue has actually had a lot of its work done before. The Cutlass Blue, of course, appeared to us before in a very advanced stage of white boxing, and that was about August 2017. Sandy Gardner put this out on Twitter roughly about a week before we found out that it had been pushed off the schedule in favor of other terrible ships. And it was disappointing, but you can see that now, with all that work having already been done, it's going to be very easy to bring the ship in. And, that's kind of one of the things with the Drake ships, is that all the tile sets, all the pieces, except for the major external hull differences, are generally already there. They have been built through the line of Drake ships, and Drake has had a lot of success in the persistent universe in bringing ships to fruition because, the ships are kind of rough and tumble, and they're not so much finesse and finish. And so, from the outside looking in, it seems like they do come together a little bit easier than the other ships do. Obviously, much easier than the M50 does because, that ship's already built and seemingly still going nowhere. With the M50, it's an origin ship, right? And origin ships have always faced certain challenges. A lot of them have to be remade, and some of them are still facing challenges, like the 600i and the 890 jump still have some adjustments to be made before they're considered completely done. Whereas Drake ships, there's some minor adjustments that need to be finished. There's some features that need to be brought into place, but it just seems that, hey, if you're working at CIG and you want to get a ship out there, in time for Christmas, and you want to get it done quick, the natural answer would be to add another Drake ship to the pipeline. Now, the Mercury Star Runner, do I think that it's going to make it on time? Yeah, it's 9 out of 99, and those tasks, it's not like a percentage bar. It's not like, oh, it's almost 10% or just under, just over, whatever. It's one task might be the equivalent of 5 other tasks. So it could leap ahead, or it could seemingly stay static for a long time and then leap ahead. It's, the tasks aren't just like a percentage bar. Even though they try to make it look like that on the website, it's very misleading. It could, it could surge or it could slow down. But do I think it's going to make it? Yeah, because obviously it's going to be the front runner for Crusader Industries, and it's going to lead into the Starlifter, which is another ship that a lot of players are obviously going to be excited to see. The Starlifter really, we've got a very, very short video preview of the early work in progress of bringing this ship to life. And initially you might think that, oh, it's a little bit ahead of what we've seen recently of the Mercury Star Runner, though we've really only seen one picture, whereas this seems to be much further ahead. So, why isn't the Starlifter on the schedule? And I think that as they are kind of redefining the schedule for the next year, I think that their goal is probably, once Crusader, the actual gas giant Crusader, which we've been flying around for years but haven't really been able to visit in a non-fatal way, once that populates the universe, they're probably looking to bring that ship in with that patch. And while they might look like they're kind of, running neck and neck through the race right now, obviously a large ship like the Starlifter is going to require a lot more work to get done and get functional and, test internally before it gets out to us. So I think that if you were thinking that, oh, they're both going to land at the same time, and any day now they're just going to put that right next to the Star Runner on the schedule, it's not going to happen. Ships like that typically have taken CIG around a year to put together. Remember, like at one point we were seeing interior shots of the large miner, the Orion, and we have yet to see that ship materialize in any usable form. And in fact, it could entirely be shelved right now, and a lot of those ship design resources are probably still refining things for Squadron 42. So these are probably just the teams that have kind of gone out and said, oh, you know what? We've now finished this project for Squadron 42. Or maybe the Starlifter is going to be featured at some point in Squadron 42. So they're like, hey, you know what? Two birds, one stone. So we're showing you the Starlifter because we know you guys want it. And of course, with the Nova tank and the Ballista being the only ship that can really transport those two at this point, that's probably why you're seeing this, the Starlifter being kind of previewed, but not really being scheduled. Chances are, as the schedule continues to go through changes into 310 and 311, do I think that means the Starlifter could land as early as 312? Maybe. I think that it's probably going to come out in to coincide with the release of Crusader, the moon itself, or the moon. Sorry, the gas giant, the planet. That is probably when it's going to come out. But 312, as much as I would love to be an optimist, and I would love to see that ship in game, I don't feel it. It's a gut feeling, not based on anything that I know and that I'm not saying. I don't really feel it for 312, assuming that 312 is still the name of the patch that we would get in December. So realistically, I think maybe the equivalent of the patch that we just got in 2021 would probably be when we see the Starlifter. Earliest would be December. I feel that one would be kind of obvious, that would be the earliest that we see it. But realistically, I would think maybe about March 2021, March, April. That's probably where we'll get it. Apart from that, once again, Squadron 42, a lot of things that we are not seeing, a lot of things that kind of remain hidden from us. So there could be surprises along the way over the year. There could be refinements to ships like the Retaliator, the Vanguard, other things, the Super Hornet. Ships that feature very heavily in Squadron 42 are probably going to pop up with added refinements in the persistent universe as time goes on. But because that's kind of behind that veil of Squadron 42 silly secrecy that I don't really believe in, but that's my opinion and not something that I feel suits everyone out there in the Star Citizen community. I feel that we are going to see some refinements trickle in on pre-existing military ships. Ships like the Super Hornet, the Retaliator, Vanguard, obvious ones. I think that those are going to all of a sudden it's just going to pop into a patch. Maybe a month or 2 months before it releases, it's going to be like, oh yeah, Vanguard refinements. Oh yeah, Super Hornet refinements or Base Hornet refinements. Added refinements to the Gladius, that sort of thing. That's where that's where you're going to find out about it. So there is stuff there that you're not seeing. There are ships being worked on that, of course, you're not seeing. And we're getting to a point where I'm now, with the release of 3.9, I did scratch my head a little bit because I felt that there was kind of something missing there. I kind of feel like as we get closer and closer to 3.10, I feel that we're due for a surprise reveal of a concept, a flight-ready concept. So I think that is also something that we are not seeing. And I feel that with 3.10 and 3.11, there's something coming that they have not revealed to us. So who knows? When you kind of think about it that way and you look at all these things through that lens, then you realize, oh no, the ship pipeline is actually very full and very busy because all these things are happening at once. And I think that, even though the schedule, the roadmap makes it look a certain way, it's actually a pretty busy time in terms of ships being brought into the game universe and being refined. So I do feel that on the ship front, there's going to be plenty to look forward to this year. Anyways, that's the show for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. So if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42's development, please follow us on our social media channels. See you soon.